This is Dan Farisi, editor with Sound and Communications Magazine. Happy to be joined this afternoon by two members of the Avnu Alliance. I'm joined by Genio Kronauer from L Acoustics and Henning Kalthoiner from D&B Audio Technique. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan. Yep.
So the topic of the day, of course, is the news that broke this morning about the new Milan associate membership level. And we want to talk about a number of different things going on with Milan, but let's start with this associate membership level. It mean? This is big news for Milan. So what is this associate membership level all about?
In the past, becoming a member of Avnu Alliance was quite costly. So if somebody wanted to really work in the work groups, he had to become a promoter member. That's $10,000 US. And then there was an adopter membership level at $5,000 US per year. But as you know, in the pro audio industry, there are many smaller manufacturers. And we want to make Milan as accessible as possible also for smaller manufacturers. So the associate membership from Milan is a possibility to become an Avnu member and get Milan products certified, and also to carry the certification logos and the brand logos at a cost of only $1,000 US per year.
Anything you want to add on that, Genia?
From my point of view, Henning has pretty well summarized it. What's the intention of the new Milan membership? And so also the idea is also, of course, to make access to certification also much easier.
So one thing I wanted to touch on, module certification mechanism. If I'm correct, that was announced a bit earlier this year. What is the Milan module certification mechanism? How does it work, and how do manufacturers who might want to have Milan certified products interact with it?
This new Milan module certification is that Avnu promoters can develop modules, certify them completely on the Avnu level, and then give these modules to members that, for example, have the adapter membership. And this module automatically inherits the certification. That means they simply can implement it. The module manufacturer ensures that the implementation is done correctly. And then the member that incorporates this module can apply and more or less register and confirms the implementation of this module on Avnu. So it means he is not obliged to go again itself completely through the certification of the end product. Do you want to add something there, Henning?
Well, that's pretty much it. So it was a very important step for us to maximize the spread of Milan in our industry, because honestly, developing AVB-based products, and Milan bases on AVB technology, isn't really trivial. It is the network protocol with the most precise timing in the industry, and that has some challenges here and there in R&D. So a module for AVB and therefore also for Milan makes a lot of sense, especially for smaller manufacturers, instead of having to develop this technology by themselves. So it was a target from the early days of Milan to get to this step. And now we have more or less fulfilled it, because we will see the first modules coming very soon.
So obviously Sound and Communications and I have been following the Avnu Alliance's activities and the Milan protocol, the Milan standard, for months now, for years, at the various ISE shows, Infocom shows, AES. You've been updating us on developments, on certification, on new members. How many end devices are Milan certified at this point? I mean, is it continuing to grow rapidly? Has the pandemic slowed progress? Is there a pipeline of products that are not quite certified yet, but are on track to being certified? I'm not sure if you could give us insight into that.
It is constantly growing, but honestly, yes, the pandemic has had its effect also on this. So many audio manufacturers, especially in Europe, they have been moving to short-time work. So, and this has also affected R&D departments here and there, which is quite natural for the situation we are in right now. Fortunately, the dynamic within the Milan group remains to be very lively. So we are continuing the work on the standards, and we also have a pipeline of products that are currently in certification. We are expecting a range of new products to be released as certified in the next months. The actual number of now certified products, I don't really have in my mind. Can you, could you help
On
out?
the, let's say, published on the website, let's say there is, of course, the three major vendors. That's DMB, L-Acoustics, and Meyer Sound. There are also others certified but not published because the owners of the brand prefers to wait for a product release that is more adapted to the pandemic situations,
Yeah.
meaning so when things are going back to normal, they plan to announce.
Yeah,
Right.
this is not the super clever time for launching products. So there's also a lot of strategic consideration related to this. But we are very optimistic for the time after Corona with Milan. Things are progressing really well.
Well understood. And hopefully the news from Pfizer today about promising vaccine studies is going to get us further down that path quickly. So member benefits for associate members. Obviously, as you kind of alluded to, there are different tiers if you want to participate in Milan and in Avnu. Some cost more, but I would imagine they have more benefits. So can you kind of delineate what the benefits are of an associate member and then what benefits might be for higher tiers of membership if people are thinking, do I want to be on a higher tier?
Yeah, so associate membership is, so to say, the minimum level. It's the minimum that is required for a company to have kind of a legal arrangement with Avnu Alliance about certification, logo licensing, and so on. This wouldn't work without a membership to have such a legal agreement. So it's the absolute minimum, but a company with an associate membership level cannot participate in work groups or get deeper insights behind the curtain of what's going on in building the standards, so to say.
Mhm.
This would require a promoter membership, which is obviously more money a year. It's 10,000 US dollars. And of course, companies like us or L-Acoustic, Meyer Sound, we are all at that promoter membership and are continuously working on the standards.
Right. Um, so when will we start seeing associate members being rolled out? I mean, I imagine it would take a little bit of time insofar as this tier was just announced this morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time. But are there already people who presumably maybe have heard about it or you've spoken to personally about it who are saying, I'm a smaller company, I can't necessarily afford to do 10,000 US dollars a year, but at $1,000, I want to participate. So they may not be ready to be named yet, but you know that there's a lot of interest.
Yes, so definitely. So we stayed in touch with a significant amount of companies that was interested and was actually waiting for this new associate membership. So I cannot say names and not exactly when, but yes, it's definitely in the pipe that they will join.
Exciting. Is there anything else from the Avnu perspective or with regard to Milan our readers about? Obviously, as I say, these are developments we tend to cover at ISC, at AES, at Infocom, with everything having become virtualized and digitized in the time of COVID. I don't know that we've been as robust in getting news out. At the same time, as you say, news may have slowed a bit because everyone is kind of retrenching. Is there anything that our readers should know about? Any developments from the past 6 months, from the past 9 months about Milan and about Avnu's activities that our readers should be apprised of and know?
As mentioned before, we are very busy in the background to build a lot around Milan. Some of it is technical, some of it is marketing related. We are in even closer touch to IT companies than we have been before. You should know that ABB technology is also reaching into industrial segments and automotive segments. There it is called TSN, and we have started huge discussions to unify the standards in a way that they can be used more across industries and not so specific only for audio and video. This will take effect only maybe in 2 or 3 years, but it's a very big initiative to be able to use same silicon, same technologies at much lower prices in the future. This is one thing that's happening, but this is really very basic work.
Right.
Other work is that Milan, of course, has a roadmap, and we have a quite long list with great ideas that require a lot of work. Kenny knows what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
definitely.
So guys from L Acoustic, Meyer, D&D, Avid, Neutrik, and many other companies are constantly talking and discussing. The dynamic in the Milan team has not slowed down at all. So we remain to stay pretty excited.
So as you both said, I mean, there's a pent up interest for this associate level. I imagine we're going to be getting announcements very shortly. But for people, perhaps manufacturers who are watching this interview, who may have been hearing about this now for the first time, whom should they reach out to? Where should they go online? What should they do if they're hearing of this and they say, I want to be involved in this on the $1,000 a year level. I want to be an associate member. What should they do?
It's pretty easy. So going to the Avnu website, and there is a link for the Milan associate membership, and clicking there and applying. Of course, also the ones that knows us can also contact Henning and me, but it's pretty well explained how to get into this new membership.
Yeah, and if companies send an email to Avnu Alliance asking such kind of questions, we will get informed and we will get in touch.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I really appreciate it. Both Genio Kronau from L Acoustics and Henning Kolthoiner from D&B Audio Technique, representing the Avnu Alliance, which is the industry consortium that's driving the Milan ecosystem. This has been Dan Parisi, editor with Sound and Communications. Thank you so much for joining me. We really appreciate it.
Thanks very much, Dan.
Thanks a lot, Dan. Yep.